Hello everyone and welcome to Free UFC Bet Picks. In this video we are breaking down a bantamweight fight between Gustavo Lopez and Anthony Birchak. Birchak is replacing Parlays last minute here for this fight, coming up this Saturday, November 7th for UFC Vegas 13. So getting into our first fighter here, Gustavo Lopez. He is actually the underdog in this fight, even though Birchak was the last minute replacement. He's got plus 149 in the betting odds right now. His record is 11-5. Before he got into the UFC, he was a bantamweight champion with another MMA league, the Combate Americas. And then he came into the UFC. He lost his first fight, but making his record just 1-0. But I mean, this guy's got hands, like brutal hands. If you want proof of that, just go to YouTube. Well, you're already on it. Search up the Joey Ruque win. I mean, back in 2019, the second time they fought. It is insane. Ruque gets knocked out. He's like out cold, but he's still like putting his hand up, like trying to block. It's crazy. So if you want proof of his brutal hands, it's right there. And he is going up against Anthony Birchak, who is the favorite, minus 170. He's got a record of 15-6, in the UFC, a record of 2-2. So he was in the UFC a few years back, like 2014, 15, 16, I think is when he was fighting in there. He's been trying to get back into the UFC for a while now. In the meantime, just staying busy with his jiu-jitsu matches. He's fought in other MMA leagues. So he hasn't just been on a break. He's been very much staying busy. He's finally getting his chance to come back into the UFC here against Gustavo Lopez. As far as Birchak goes, he's a good wrestler. He's got good submission game, good takedown game. But this is going to be a very interesting matchup here. Both very decent fighters. So what do you think?
Yeah, we were disappointed when the Colares Gustavo fight fell apart because, we were watching tape study on Gustavo Lopez and loving it. One of our reels had like 5,000 views on it. You guys were reacting to it a lot because, it was that Ruque fight. Ruque. He kind of had like a Nate Quarry, put his arm out stiff and was, pawing with his other one while he was out cold. Really vicious knockout. Both of these guys have vicious knockout power, and for 135ers, that's rare, right? Yeah. So we thought Gustavo, we were waiting for this line to come out. We've just been like checking election results and checking best fight odds, waiting for these lines to come out. It's been a heck of a day. So, I was expecting Gustavo Lopez to be the champ. These guys both fought in Combate, and Gustavo was the champ, and Birchak wasn't, right? And I was so excited to come in here and tell you guys that, because I expected Gustavo to be like a 2-1 favorite. And I was going to say that Birchak's not a scrub. He fought in the UFC a long time ago. People forget. He had a great fight against Joe Soto, who Joe Soto had just fought for the title. He knocks out Joe Soto. They kind of had like a little clinch situation in the middle of the cage, like a little single tie for just like half a second. Birchak lands a vicious knee up the middle, and then just like a kind of right straight that didn't have a lot on it. In interviews after that fight, Birchak was even saying he was surprised that dropped Soto, but it was a nice knee to straight right combo. Drops him, Soto pops back up. He's got his back against the cage, and Birchak's just throwing heavy hooks at him and ends up melting him, like just drops out cold, no follow-up punches needed. Great knockout. For Birchak, but then he lost a couple fights, and in the old days in the UFC, that got you kicked out of the UFC. So he's a coach. He coaches at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Tucson. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. We all think of Eddie Bravo. We think of the rubber guard. This guy's really nice jiu-jitsu, but he doesn't go in there and kind of rely on it. He wants to win. So his last few fights, he fought Adam Martinez. Knocked him out in 51 seconds. He actually is just body kicking Martinez, and Martinez catches it, and then Birchak just punches him, because Martinez's hands are tied up, holding that kick. Obviously, he's trying to take Birchak down, and Birchak's bouncing around, keeping perfect balance, and just putting hands on him, and ends up melting him. Then he fights Rafael Montini de Lima. Not a great fighter. He hasn't fought anybody. His resume is terrible, but he actually looks decent on tape. So I don't know how to feel about that win, but it kind of looks like a weak win when you look at Montini de Lima's resume. His last fight was against Eric Redlam, and people are excited about it. Redlam's 6-6. Redlam's not that great a fighter. Birchak started out with just like 6 or 7 feints in a row. He's just feinting every strike to see how Redlam was going to react. Then he starts peppering Redlam with low kicks, leg kicks. Finally, he gets Redlam to kind of react to one. Redlam's back is against the cage. He's not doing anything. I don't even know why, because Birchak was just killing him in the stand-up. Birchak takes him down, takes his back immediately, chokes him out. Redlam looked like he had never rolled jiu-jitsu in his life. I don't think that was a very good win from Birchak. But he's just tearing through these guys. Round 1 rear naked choke, round 1 rear naked choke, and round 1 KO punches, right? So he's just finishing people in the first round. He's bigger than Lopez. He's got 3 inches of height and 3 inches of reach. And that equals more than 6 inches. Like, it exponentially grows, when the height and reach, it kind of compounds interest, if you will, right? So, Gustavo, heavy hands. His last fight, he came in on short notice against Merab Dvalishvili, who we know is an absolute wrestling monster. Before that, he was just knocking people out in round 1, too. Before when these guys are not in the UFC, they're knocking people out. These guys are legit, good, solid fighters.
Yeah.
Interestingly, so both of these guys came in their last fight at 140. So we were messaging these guys, don't blow up fighters and try to get help with your bets. We messaged him, told him congrats, so excited to see you. We were disappointed when the Colares fight fell apart, and glad to see you back. We're telling Birchak, glad you're back in the octagon. Excited to see you. And then asked, how they're feeling, and they both said that they're going to make weight. So, the fight against Merab for Gustavo, he cut 17 pounds in 20 hours, he said. And his body just didn't react well to it. It was super late notice. And he still put up a really good, good performance. He survived against Dvalishvili on short notice after having a terrible weight cut. It's pretty impressive. We posted screenshots of that short conversation on the IG page, so check it out. Gustavo Lopez is a really cool guy. Follow him. Birchak is really cool and hilarious. So he said, he was already cutting to 145 for some fights this Saturday. He was fighting in he was going to fight in some tournament he was going to be fighting 205ers in heavyweights and stuff, right? And so he said he's already prime. He's sharp as a tack, he said. He said something really funny that we won't repeat on here because we're trying to keep the profanity down, but you got to check it out. You can see that on the IG page. Follow both of these guys. These guys are exciting fighters, really cool people, family men, and just, classy, just good guys. So really excited for this fight. Like I said, I thought Gustavo would be a big favorite, but I thought Birchak was a very live dog. I still think that Gustavo should be the favorite a little bit. I know the height and reach. I know these first round finishes. The more you look at it and you watch Birchak on tape, he's nice. But I think Gustavo is just a better fighter. Gustavo was the champ in Combate Americas. Gustavo's a couple years older, but not significantly older. Yeah, 2 years older. So we're gonna go with Gustavo Lopez as our, I think our 4th underdog pick on this card, which is wild.
Yeah.
Excited to see it. We don't know the DraftKings scores yet.
Right.
I think these guys are both going to be decently priced, maybe 8,500 and 8,100, something like that, something in that range. I think they both have finished potential, and they're going to be low owned because no one knows them. They're lightweight guy, they're featherweights. Sorry, bantamweights. They're fighting at 135 on Saturday. So I think they're decent DraftKings plays too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I agree. I think Lopez is probably going to take this one, but I think this one's going to be a really fun fight to watch, and it's going to be a really good matchup here. So, anything else we want to add on Lopez versus Birchak?
Nope. We've got the whole rest of the card lined up. We're doing Teixeira Santos right now. It's an extended look. And then come on Friday, we have the after weigh-ins videos, which are the most important thing. And there's a cool trivia question with a giveaway on that Friday video after the weigh-ins. At this point, don't rush to make any bets. Wait for the weigh-ins because it's going to be helpful. The Contender White, the Dana White Contender Series card this week is a perfect example of how key the weigh-ins are. We just uploaded a short 7-minute video that breaks down all 4 of those cards, all 4 of those fights. They're coming on in an hour and a half. So check that out.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss a future video, and we will see you guys on the next one.